A stabbing incident has taken place at the Notre Dame Church in Nice, in France. At least 3 people have been reported dead, including one woman who has been beheaded. Several others are injured. Nice Mayor Christian Estrosi has said that the suspect behind the attack has been arrested. Estrosi said it appeared that the incident had been a terrorist attack on the city's Basilica of Notre Dame. The terror probe has been opened in France. It's also being said the mayor of the French city of Nice has just announced, saying that the suspect kept mentioning the phrase Allahu Akbar.
The latest ceasefire between Azerbaijan and Armenia is crumbling after just 2 days. Azerbaijan is accusing Armenia of killing at least 21 civilians and wounding dozens more in strikes close to the disputed region of Nagorno-Karabakh. The attack in the city of Barda is the deadliest on civilians since fighting started a month ago between the two nations. Armenia denies the attacks, which comes days after the U.S. brokered a humanitarian truce. At the same time, Armenia's prime minister has accused Azerbaijan of an attack on a maternity hospital in Stepanakert, the capital of Nagorno-Karabakh. As of yet, there are no reported casualties.
Only 2 women involved, and as the victim fights for his life, the authorities say that security guard was stabbed 27 times. The suspects facing a judge earlier today. Charged are 21-year-old Jessica Hill and 18-year-old Jayla Hill. In bond court today, prosecutors said the sisters were involved in a stabbing incident of an employee, again stabbed 27 times after they were asked to wear masks and use store-provided hand sanitizer at Snipes. That's an athletic wear store near Roosevelt and Kedzie. This happened Sunday at about 6 p.m. That employee is 42 years old, identified again as a security guard, contracted out to that store. He was rushed to Mount Sinai, last listed in critical condition.
In a video conference on Wednesday, Angela Merkel and Germany's 16 state governors unanimously agreed to implement a partial lockdown in the country. From Monday the 2nd of November until the end of the month, all restaurants, bars and leisure facilities, including theatres, cinemas, sports centres and swimming pools, will be closed. Gatherings will be limited to 10 people from 2 different households, while working from home is strongly recommended. The number of COVID-19 cases is rising rapidly, with 15,000 new infections in just 24 hours. Fears of another hit to Germany's already slowing economy are a major concern. In an effort to ease the economic situation, €40 billion is to be injected into the sectors hardest hit by the new restrictions.
The scale of the coronavirus pandemic in India increased again on Thursday as the country reached the grim milestone of 8 million cases. India is the world's 2nd most populous nation and also has the 2nd highest tally of infections after the United States, which has recorded 8.8 million. Cases in India have dipped sharply from September's peak, but experts warned the current festival season, which traditionally means celebrations all around the country, could bring about another spike. The death toll has been low relative to infections, with 517 new deaths recorded in the last 24 hours. According to Health Ministry figures, the total number of people who've died from the disease is now over 120,000.
Satellite image released on Monday shows that Iran has started construction of its Natanz nuclear plant, and the picture released by San Francisco-based Planet Labs Incorporated shows the site being cleared away with what appears to be the construction equipments. Inspectors from UN's atomic watchdog have confirmed that Iran has started construction on a new building near an underground nuclear facility.
Iran, as part of its obligations, has informed us that they intend to move some of these installations into a protected site. But this has been an announcement, formal announcement, and our inspectors are engaged.
Right, Julius Malema and Ndlozi are back in court today. They're facing charges of assaulting a police officer at the funeral of Winnie Madikizela Mandela in 2018. Colonel Johan Venter is currently on the stand being grilled on video footage showing the incident.
Well, what I've seen of the video footage, it is clear that there was an incident or a scuffle between the two accused and the witness who was on the stand this morning. But I can only imagine that the strategy being imposed by the defense team is that the witness provoked the assault. So in other words, he first acted in a way which justified Mr. Malema and his co-accused to push him away and to get him out of the way.
The Supreme Court of South Korea this morning upheld former South Korean President Lee Myung-bak's initial sentence of 17 years behind bars.
Mark, the Supreme Court of South Korea has decided to uphold the lower court's decision on the sentencing of 17 years in prison, along with $11.5 million in fines and additional confiscation of around $5 million. The sentencing comes as both defendants and prosecutors had appealed the decision from the lower court. But the Supreme Court decided to stay with the initial decision. Lee's trial was on his involvement in a controversial auto parts maker, Das, and he was charged with collecting bribes from Samsung for Das legal funds, among other charges.
And adding insult to Erdogan's crumbling Ottoman ambitions is France, or a French magazine rather, one that is at the center of the Islamic backlash against Emmanuel Macron. Charlie Hebdo, what has it done now? It has published a searing caricature of the Turkish president. In fact, calling it searing might be an understatement. It is quite scandalous. The cartoon depicts a scantily dressed Erdogan drinking beer and lifting the skirt of a woman wearing a hijab. Turkey is mighty upset with this cartoon. The Turkish government and its officials are outraged. They have flooded Twitter with threads condemning the cartoon, and they want nothing less than an apology from Charlie Hebdo for such blatant disrespect of their president. What about Mr. President himself? Has he responded? Yes and no. He says that he has nothing to say against such quote-unquote scoundrels. His words.
Pressure is 984.